Today is the ultimate showdown of Mikey versus Mikey. Is the Turtle in Disguise set better than the VHS set or Pizza Club edition? Let's find out today on Nostalgia. I don't do intros like that. Let's find out by looking at this beautiful packaging. I love this look. It's like Domino's. It says tile game. Domino's Pizza Club? Now this is a playoff of Burger King's Kid Club, which eventually I'm gonna make these little VHS available so that they fit the Turtle VHS that's in this box, but this isn't helping you. It's so small. Anyway, onto the box. Michelangelo is a party dude. It's a playoff of the front. Nope, it's a playoff of the intro of the show. Looking real good. I love it. The colors, the style, the theme, the nostalgia are all there. These are the people involved. Look, Tom, you're doing it, man. You're doing so much. And then Trevor, hey, oh, this is probably because he was originally involved in the first iteration of the Turtles, and the illustrations. Of course, Aaron is crushing it. So we have a lot of good names, a lot of good people, but I am very thankful for this. And look, that's my last name, folks, for those of you that don't know. So there we go, we got all the names. So now I can pretend like I know what I'm talking about. Side of the box, other side of the box, top, boring, boring, boring. And I don't mean any disrespect, Travis, but hey. Here we go. Look at the back of this. I like this a lot. So Michelangelo is party dude, and you actually get a unique bio for Michelangelo instead of that generic turtle one about ooze and all that stuff that we normally see. Is that Maxwell? I hope so, because he looks like a little artist. Flip that flap, baby. We got him in there with his licorice pizza, which they do look like slugs or something, leeches coming off there. Look at our boy inside the packaging. If you watched my Punks review, then you've got a sneak peek at this, and there's a couple things that have changed, like no cell shading on that shell, but it's way easier to look at when it's outside the box. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna open the box. And I always prefer to go at it hard from the bottom. Slide that thing out. Look at him in his matte finish. Makes me a happy boy. And you know, if I'm a happy boy, then this is gonna be a good episode. Well, I don't know, that doesn't make sense. Here we have the NECA Street. Nope. Here we have the NECA sewer dio being used as a backdrop. Smart boys. Good. You're like you're promoting your own product that nobody can go buy again. Everything is out of the box, and we have a soft goods, so be sure to be aware of that. It's on the inside of the plastic. Look at all these little accessories. Now, if you have the Turtles in Disguise sets, then you already know there's a big change, what's going on here. The Turtles in Disguise was a 4-pack. Obviously had a disguise, but because there's 4 of them, you have a lot more parts to switch and swap around. Because we are buying our Turtles now individually, this is ideal for people that have never had the Turtles. So this is great. A lot of collectors don't have it. Let's start with the pizza, which is granola and licorice. Yummy. The details are good, the sculpt is great, and the paintwork is fine. They still look like leeches. Up next, we have the nunchucks, which look like this. Super long chains, and I gotta say, I have always felt these chains are way too long, especially on the quarter scale one. They seem like absurdly long, but fine, it's fine. And we get thumbs up hands with the nice matte finish, so thank you for that. They're looking a lot nicer than the old ones. My hands are dry, so let's lotion them. Up next, we got what I'm gonna say is definitely Maxwell. Check this dude out. He is fantastic. I've already figured it out. I'm so sad. This is Maxwell. I've just figured it out by using my brain hole. The fish in the fish bowl. This is gonna be Maxwell. We can't get him out of there. Bowl doesn't come apart, at least not easily. So he is just kind of in there, which is unfortunate. Now it has this little slot, which is supposed to keep him in place, but I guess that's only once he's flat. It's gonna be just fine. But the details on this little guy, I wish I could take it out of the bowl so you could see him. Looks fantastic. So really, really nicely done on that, which is typical. And you get this Gorgonzola, which is from the show that they would watch of the giant lizard. And I think there's an insert with the TV accessory set. Pretty sure had a slide in of this character. This is the puppet. And how do we know it's the puppet? Because he's got a big old butthole, like all puppets do. But he looks awesome. I don't know what this is from, but there's only 1 billion episodes of TMNT, so Raz Rentals, if you're watching, please let us know down in the comments what the heck this thing is, or where it's from. Obviously, we know it's a puppet, but I love the details. It's like a little Bob Ross guy. And we get this VHS, which is color-coded to match him and his outside box. These are designed so that you can take the VHS and stick them inside. So I'm gonna have like a full set of Burger King Kids Club to go with the Pizza Club Turtles. How perfect. Boop. I will eventually make available because I gotta find other things to give you to make this worth it. Like, I know that cereal boxes will be included. This will be included. We gotta find some other things. What are good ideas? Tell me. We have a chef hat, which is looking pretty nice. It's a pretty hard piece of plastic, of course, but it's just a fun accessory to have from a very specific thing where Michelangelo is wearing this apron because he's a cooking boy and he loves a pizza time. He loves a pizza time. This soft goods thing is fine. This is so basic. This is something that should have been on Etsy for the last like 4 years. Somebody should have been making this stuff and then just offering it. For the star of the show, Michelangelo himself in this beautiful matte finish. It's so nice, and like when the light hits it, it gives it this kind of glow, but this is substantially darker than the Turtles in Disguise. We'll go over all that and see what the difference is between them. For anyone that does not have Turtles yet, this is the way to go. You're really gonna be happy that this is the set that's coming to you. However, we need to compare this guy to the previous version to find out, is this really worth picking up for other collectors that have already had him, or should you save your money and buy the Turtles in Disguise set, which has gone up in value. Maybe it goes down in value because these are available now. So let's take these accessories, push them off to the side. Okay, so let's do our best to try to compare. Now, when the Turtle in Disguise, you got 4 turtles. That's a huge upgrade value-wise, but that meant you get a lot. You get the disguise, so you get a hat, this ugly head, the jacket, and the pants. Then you get all these extra hands because there's so many turtles in there that everybody kind of got their own extra hands. I'm doing my best to try to compare what really you would have gotten for one turtle out of that box, and that would be the flat hands, thumbs ups, and the pointing. They both have the gripping by default. For Michelangelo in the Turtle in Disguise box, they kind of promoted it as this head and this head, but there are other heads in that box that you could mix and match and have different expressions. But this is kind of our default for him. And as we can see, there's no alternate head for this Michelangelo, which means as a new collector, to get into this line, or you want alternate expressions of the matte finish, you need to buy all 4 turtles. So more hands, the costume or disguise, and then you could technically say that maybe this belongs to him. I don't know who got this hat, doesn't matter, but these are some of the extra accessories that were in that box. You get the weird hat, you get this slice of pizza, 2 complete pizza pies on pizza stones. Here's the other one. You get the bird, Pete the bird, I don't remember his name. And then you get this book, The Hare and the Tortoise, and this skateboard. So this was like a huge value pack. Oh, and the big old boom box. So you got a massive value. Of course, you had to get all 4, and the price of this thing was like, I don't know, $125 or something at the time, which is really good compared to $150 now for any 4-pack. And if you want to take your NECA street scene or really any setup and enhance it to look like April's apartment, well, hey, you can grab one of these right now while I still have some. Limited supplies are available to order, and anybody that did order, those things should be shipping this week if I'm releasing this the week that I'm shipping them. So stay tuned to those that already bought it. So let's jump into the obvious changes. The color of the shell is massively different. This is much brighter, way more in line with like an orange color because it looks much more like his bandana. Clearly see the difference in the finish because the matte finish here, the gloss here, which it was hit or miss. Some Turtle in Disguise sets, they were matte. I don't know if the color looks more like this, but look at how drastically different that green is. So no cell shading on the front of the shell. I can't use those words together. The different color in the leather belt, that matte finish really makes these armbands and knee pads look different. Cell shading is still there on the back half of the turtle arms and legs, and it is also still cell shaded on the back half of the bandana, and the back shell is also a different color. And here you can see how different that leather belt is, but these are all different. So the colors are drastically different now. I really wish I had the original 2-packs, which didn't have the swappable head parts. They had like the Leo that came with Shredder and stuff, and those have a dark look and they have a mattified finish. So I'm wondering if they look closer to this, in the color as well, because this is very olive and then this is very much just like a nice deep green. But build wise, these are going to be the same figures, and that's one of the reasons why we saw Trevor's name on the bottom of the box, because he helped sculpt these guys originally, so the joints and everything else is still exactly the same as they were. And the nunchuck, there's a big difference between those as well. So the new updated version has this bright light kind of tan color, and then you have the really deep wood color on the original sets, and the same with the silver is very different. Not that it really matters, but here you can see the difference in the green on the hands. And if you're a photographer, you're going to be really happy to have the matte finish, because they're just going to show up so much better. The aftermarket value of the Turtles in Disguise is definitely more than the 125 they were originally. Maybe that goes down because of the new Turtles coming out. I'm sure that if you wanted the soft goods out of this, you could probably find those being sold separately by collectors somewhere, eBay or Mercari. All of these other accessories, obviously you're kind of missing. And we don't know is this supposed to be Raphael or whatever, but you bought a 4-pack, you got a lot of stuff. Over here, you're definitely getting less stuff, but you're getting all new stuff. So even if you take this and this out of the picture, this is all new. And for some folks, this might be worth it all on its own. And to see what that looks like all together with the disguise on the new turtle, it just looks better. Of course it does, because this darker tone, it creates more contrast with it. It just looks better overall. Darn it, we didn't want to have to buy these turtles again. One thing about this figure that you really need to know is that the fact that we only get one head really limits the facial expression options. So putting on the faces that came with the Punk Turtles, the alternate heads, you can see you can definitely make it work and it matches really well, but because of the limitations of the eye shape, you get a really weird look. Only the smiling face looks good with those eyes. Where if you have the other one from the Turtles in Disguise, you get the alternate face that has the furrowed brows. And I think to get the correct top of the head for Michelangelo, we're gonna have to buy the Samurai Adventure Michelangelo. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this: if you already have the Turtles in Disguise and you just like having your figures out and on display, then keep those. You do not need the new ones unless you're just obsessed with all these accessories, which I seriously doubt. If you want to swap heads around with the Punk Turtles, or if you like to photograph your stuff and you want the ultimate version of the figure, then yeah, the new Pizza Club VHS style one is definitely the way to go. To me, it's just superior in every aspect. So now you'll have a turtle that has the same finish as the Punk Turtles and should match everything going forward from NECA. Now, if you want to see a complete breakdown of the Turtles in Disguise figures being reviewed, then click the top link there. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.